Hi guys, definitely Mario here. Today is our first video about our um, first level building. So you have to make a list of things before you start to design a level. Especially in this context of ghost hunting. So this video will be only a theoretical video. The next video will be the build of the level itself, or better, the start of the building. We need a couple of videos for that. So what I mean, you have to think about many things if you build your own level, and I want to tell you which things important to that. First of all, think about your level. What I mean, if you want to make a map in the western coast of America, somewhere in this region, you have to look there. A neighborhood in this region will look, because a neighborhood in this region, a neighborhood in Great Britain, or a neighborhood in Germany, they will look different. And if you give your players a map or something like that, and you tell them this haunted house is at this place, they will look up, or even more bad, they live in this region. And if you have built a map that doesn't fit in, that will disappoint them. So it's very important for you to make some research about the region, about how far the houses are away from each other, on how they build. It's more likely to build in wood or concrete, anything like this. If you make a map in an short moment, in an apartment building, you have to reach it too. Apartment buildings are very different in regions. Some apartment buildings get an elevator at a certain height. So if you make an apartment building but not have that high, and you put an elevator in it, you have to have an explanation for that. Maybe it's a rich region, so the building have more when he needs to have, and things like this. But what is very important too is your signature. What I mean, in Phasmophobia, you start your game in a van. You are in this van, you have a monitor there to check the cameras, you have your equipment on the wall of the van. In Demologist, you start in a big military tent. You have there your displays to check anything, you have your equipment behind you on tables, and so on. And every player of these two games knows it. In Ghost Exile, I mean, you start in a camper. With a monitor, you can get your things out, so you can get it and start your mission. In Ghost Watcher, you start in a little van too. And you have outside of the van the big pile there you can check for the ghost. So that's very big points, rememberable points you have to do with your games. So before you go into and say, I will build this map, this large house with 3 floors, 1 basement, a garage, and something on, you have to check if you tell the player this is a house in this region, maybe there are no basements, maybe the ground is full of something, you can't make basements. It's possible. So for the immersive play, you have to make things of this. If you want to make a map in the night and you will get the stars, you have to look up which stars will seen at this region. So every region has its own more or less sky in the night. So that's important. If you say this map, maybe you want it goes on a game story driven, and you say this map plays on October the 10th on 1998. So you have to look up, was on this day a full moon, a half moon, something else. Players will check that. So look, okay, full moon, so I put a full moon on it. And things like that. Very, very important. Look out for different plans. You want to make a good map and you will bring something in that's not in this region. And you can explain it ever with money, so then buy this and plan it there. But in the moment you have to explain something to someone, it's a fail a little at this point, because a good map had not to explain itself. No, that was wrong. A good map has not to be explained, because the map explains itself. It's all logic. It all makes sense. So, yeah, 7 minutes. What could I say more? Yeah. You have a hard time if you not have a budget to find the right assets. It's not easy to find free assets for a whole map. So you need the road, you need the sidewalk, you need maybe some plats for the walking through the door. You need a good grass. You need maybe a hedge or a fence. You need the other houses. So it doesn't matter if your mission is going into one house. The player will on one or another way start in front of this house, so he can look to his left and right, and in the best case he will see another houses, and in a better case he not sees the same house over and over again. So you have to find some variations of houses, and like I say, you have to find houses what could be there. So you need much assets, and with no budget you need them for free. So the search for that high quality assets will maybe cost you more time as to build the map itself. So if you have Blender experience or similar, it would be very fantastic for you to use it. It could be hard. If you have small budget, I can tell you maybe Humble Bumble is a good place for you. They ever have bundles of lots assets for small money. Yeah. Now we're nearly on 10 minutes. I think I have said enough to tell you the importance of maybe let us call it a checklist on what things you need for create a good map at the end. Yeah, was nice to see you again, and you can see me. I hope you liked this video. I hope you learned something. I hope you're not too disappointed. It's a theoretical video and not an working example, but that will follow up beginning at the next video. Bye guys.